I hope you're all doing okay and still enjoying the lovely sunshine, enjoying all our videos we've been posting. It's 12 o'clock and it's time to cook along with Mrs. Mills. Now, I tried to do this live for you, but unfortunately everyone is on YouTube at the moment and everyone is trying to stream live and it wouldn't work. And I thought I still wanted to do something for you. So technically for me, it's about 11:30. It's not 12 o'clock. So not strictly live, but hopefully you've all signed on to YouTube at 12 o'clock. You've all pressed play at 12 o'clock so you can actually follow along with this. I am still making it as I go along. So even though it's not quite 12 o'clock for me, it's 11:30, I am actually going to make it and you can have a go at making it with me as well. So we're having a go at making pizzas today and try to find a recipe that had just the sort of ingredients that you would have at home, hopefully. If you can't join in today, the video will be saved so you can do it another time. And if we really love it, maybe we can try something else next week with things you've got ingredients for. So we're gonna make a really easy pizza dough. Now, I've never done this before. My husband does more cooking than me. I'm not too bad, but he's definitely better than I am. So I'm gonna do it with you and hopefully it works. So the recipe says 350 grams of flour. Okay, so we all know that when we've got our scales, we always have to put the bowl on first and then set it to 0 again, because otherwise it won't be very accurate. Now I think that you should technically use plain flour for this. It didn't say what flour. If you use self-raising, you might end up with more of a cake than a pizza, but we'll give it a go and we'll see. So I've got some plain flour here. So I need 350 grams. So I've got an electric scale. Let me move it down a little bit so you can see a little bit more about what I'm doing. I miss a bit of my head. Okay, so 350 grams. If you're using another scale, remember you've got to put your eye line all the way down so you can see it as it goes through. So let me get 350 grams. That's quite a lot. Okay, 350 grams of flour. Now we'll need that for later because we have to sprinkle a bit on our board when we're rolling out our pizza dough. So we've got our flour here. Then it says we're going to start heating our oven. Now hopefully you have got an adult with you. I don't want to use in your oven without a grown-up. So if you are on your own, go and get a grown-up, get them to help you. So it says we have to heat the oven at 200 degrees centigrade, or if you've got a fan oven like I have, 180 degrees, or gas mark 6. So 200 degrees Celsius or fan oven, 180, or gas mark 6 if you've got gas. So make sure you set the oven. And that is ready. That'll be warming up ready, because as soon as the dough is ready, this one you don't have to leave to prove and to rise like we did when we baked our rolls, I think. I don't know if we ended up baking our rolls for Tudor Day, or was that last year? I think you missed out on the rolls. But for dough, normally you have to leave it to warm and it rises and it proves. Well, because this doesn't have any yeast in it, we don't need to do that, so we can get cooking straight away. So you should have your flour. You should have 350 grams in there. Now it says 2 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Make sure you've got baking powder, not bicarbonate of soda. Simple mistake. So I can definitely do my 2 teaspoons. Okay, 1, 2, and then about 3/4 in there. That goes in there. Our teaspoon of salt. Where's my salt? Okay, I've got some salt over here. You can use table salt or you can use sea salt like I've got. So if I'm doing 1 teaspoon, that's going to be about that. But if you've got table salt, then you can actually use your teaspoon to measure out your table salt. Okay, so mix together the flour, baking powder, salt, and 1 tablespoon of oil. Okay, again, doesn't say what oil to use. I've just got some olive oil. So a tablespoon, bigger one. Let's put this in. This is quite exciting. Quite a few of you emailed me to say you were ready and waiting to make this with me. So if I mess up, and hopefully you won't, but we'll see. Right, okay, so we've got our oil. And then add 170 millilitres of water. So I've got my measuring jug here. So just check on the jug where you're going to go. If you find the 200, so there's the litre. There's the 200 millilitre. So I want 170. So there's 150. I know 175 is between 150 and 200. So I'm aiming for about there. Okay, so my sink is just here. I'm going to put the water in. Remember, keep that eye line down so you can see where the water's going. Nice and slowly. Lovely. So about that much water. That goes in as well. Okay, that's going in. There we go. So stir until it becomes a nice stiff ball, okay? So get your wooden spoon and give it a stir. I'll just get my scales out of the way there. Stir it round nice and slowly, otherwise you're going to get flour everywhere. Now, as Miss Hamer and I have said, it's been really, really lovely seeing all of your emails. Some of you have been sending me pictures of what you've been up to, little videos. It's really, really good. So we've had a bit of a change on the YouTube channel. We've had to make it public, so everybody can see Mrs. Mills cooking pizza and Miss Hamer reading books. But that's okay, because there's nothing secret or personal that we're revealing. Remember our online safety lessons, so that's okay. And we've turned our comments off because we didn't want other people being able to see your comments, because we want to keep you safe. But do email in any comments you'd like to make. Please send me pictures of your pizza and we'll put them on the website so that you all can enjoy those. So we'll do that a lot more, because our website is a bit more personal to us, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm rolling it around. It kind of looks like that at the moment. Kind of looks a little dry to me. It might be that I put more water in. If you're with an adult, it may be they've had a go at making this type of thing before, so they'll know. Kind of have to have a bit of a feel for it. But it says stir it till it forms a stiff ball, and it does say add more water. Should be soft but not sticky. Actually, mine is soft and not sticky, so I think maybe that's going to be all right. Okay, so let's bring it together. Make sure you've washed your hands. I did wash my hands earlier, but good time to wash your hands again, just to be sure. I've put mine in my dough, but it is only me and my husband eating it, so it's not too bad. So remember, 20 seconds, sing your happy birthday, get in between your fingers, round the inside, round your thumbs, round your wrists, all the way around. Nice clean wash. Dry it off. But I'm sure you'll wash your hands before you did your cooking anyway, if you remember anything from our seasonal cooking before Christmas. Make sure they are dry though, we're going to be kneading your dough. Okay then, so we can then get our hands in and try and bring it together, because it's then going to come out of the bowl. So, okay. Remember, we got this part of our palm and we push it down like that inside. So I'm just going to pull this out and put it on a board so you can see. So, like this. Now, got to put a little bit of flour on the board first, because we don't want it to stick. So I'm just going to get a little bit of flour and sprinkle it on my board. Now, let's just see if there's a way. So many things. I haven't got much workspace in my kitchen. Let's move these things around. Now, let me see if there's a way that I can get the camera a bit lower so you can kind of see what I'm doing. It's fancy. See my kitchen? There's my kitchen. There's my cat, look. There's Kiri. She's going to be helping out today. Say hi. Say hi to all the people. Say hello. Right, okay then. So, where can I put this? Let's see if I can put it maybe over here for a little while so you can kind of see what's going on. Hello. There you go. That's better. So when we're kneading, like I said, we use these parts of our hands and we go down like this and do this. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Can you see? So down like this and move it round. Down like this and move it round. So keep folding it over like this. Move it down. So I know some of you were baking bread and you've shown me pictures of your bread, and bread needs a lot of kneading of the dough and things like that. Now you only need about 3 or 4 minutes kneading this. Normally when you make bread, you mix in something called yeast, which needs activating, and by kneading it, it activates the yeast, and that's when you would normally cover it up and put it somewhere warm and leave it, and it does something called proving, where the yeast is activated and the bread goes like that, and then it's ready to bake if you're doing bread. Well, this doesn't have yeast in it. Slightly different dough. So actually you don't need to knead for very long, and the more you knead, it'll get slightly softer. Good for working out your muscles and things like that. Round and round and round. So not your fingertips, when you use those parts of your hands. So good to keep active, and actually it looks like dough. Look at that. Oh, it's quite sunny. It looks like dough. How exciting. Okay, I've never made a pizza dough before. My husband's a very, very good cook, and he's made lots and lots of different things. And he says, I can't believe you've never made pizza dough before. I said, I want to make pizza. And it was actually his suggestion. He said this would be a really, really good thing to do for our show. Right, okay, I think we've been doing 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. There it is, my ball of dough. Then it says to divide it into 2. You're actually going to make 2 pizzas. So let's bring it into 2 balls. Roughly the same size, I would say. Okay. Right, then you're going to flatten it out and add your toppings. So your toppings could be anything that you want, that you've got at home that you want to use up. Okay, let me just move some of these things out of the way. So I decided at home, my cup of tea. I decided at home that I had a few things lying around that were really good to use, because at this time we don't want to be wasting any food whatsoever. That's why I thought pizza would be quite good. Now on your pizza base, quite often you have tomato sauce. So I've got something called passata, which is like a tomato paste or sauce, which you could use, or you might have a tin of tomatoes at home, or you just get some ketchup and spread it on and spread it around. You don't have to have a tomato base, but most pizzas do tend to have one of those. So I'm just going to spread these out now. And again, a little bit of flour probably on your board. I've got 2 boards here, so I can put one on one board and one on the other. Now, these are a plastic chopping board. They do not go in the oven. Okay, you can prepare your pizza on something like this if you want to. Make sure you then put it on a baking tray when we put it in the oven. And now I'm just using it to make my pizza on. So a little bit of flour, again on my board, a little bit of flour over there on that board. I'm going to press it down. Now we don't want it too thin, also don't want it too thick either. So you all had pizza before probably. So I'm just pushing it out like this with my fingertips. Can actually get bit of a rolling pin to get started. Now you might have noticed I've got little Remy the rat here from Ratatouille. I brought him back from Disney. He always sits in our kitchen and he helps out. Like I said, he always gives me a hand. So I'm just going to roll it out a little bit just to help get me started. Now you don't have to do a round shape. You don't shape you like for a pizza. You make a square pizza if you like. Anything you want. So let's have a look. Actually rolling it out is a lot easier. If you don't have a rolling pin, you could get a tin or a bottle of Coke, something round like that. Okay, now mine's kind of a round shape. Not so good with the pizza twirling, so perhaps I won't do that today. Round, round, round. I think we're looking for no thicker than 1/2 centimetre. How many millimetres? 1/2 centimetre? 5. Okay. Hope you all said 5. I know we haven't had maths in a while, but I hope you all said 5. Right, okay then, so let's just see. A little bit more, I think. And I'll show you how big mine is so you can kind of see rough idea. Now, it might be that your parents or adults at home have made this before. So they might know a lot more about this than me. They might say, oh no, Mrs. Mills, it's too thick, it's too thin. But you know what? I think it will all be okay. It will be all right. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Okay then, so mine's kind of a round shape. Right. That's kind of how thick I've got mine. It's very sunny here, sorry. So yeah, not too thick at all really. And that's how big mine has ended up. Whoops, nearly lost it then. Yeah, you see that? About that big, okay? Might roll it just a little bit more because they are supposed to be thin, but if it's too thin, it will definitely burn, won't it? They don't take very long in the oven at all. Normally only about 8 to 10 minutes. So I've got one there. So I'm going to do my other one, about the same size. So I hope lots of you put in your musical requests for Miss Hamer yesterday. Because don't forget, Miss Hamer is a very, very talented musician. She's absolutely fabulous on the saxophone. I believe she had her clarinet as well. I know one person sent in a request for the Harry Potter theme. It was a very popular one, especially with me as well. We didn't quite see that message. Don't worry, I know we had problems with you not seeing our videos. I do apologise for that, but like I said, now we've made paid public. If you subscribe, it'll come up in your notifications whenever there's a new video posted. Miss Hamer and I have been posting videos every day, been on our walk. Miss Hamer's been reading her class book, I've been reading my guided reading book. I'm going to read the other half of chapter 3, Wrinkle of Time today, so we're reading a chapter a week. Yeah, so with Miss Hamer and I have actually really enjoyed making these videos because it makes us feel like we're still with you and that we see you every day. And to see your comments and to get your emails really makes us very happy. So please send as many emails and photographs and video clips as you would like. Some people have taken pictures of their work and sent it in. Somebody did their Milton Keynes history project, the brochure, on Word, so they emailed that in so I could have a look. That's been really lovely. There's been lots of baking going on, lots of crafts going on. There's actually an art competition I found on Facebook that I'm going to post about and email out about later, so we can do that too. So yeah, it's really lovely just to see what you're up to and just to say hello really. So do please keep that up. Miss Hamer and I are here whenever you need us, all the time, not a problem. Now, I've been rolling out this one. It's not quite the same shape as the other one. It's more of a oval maybe. So maybe this one will be my pizza. Maybe the other one will be for my husband. Okay, let's have a look and see what sort of shape. So this one's slightly, not quite a pizza shape, slightly different. Maybe I'll have that one. Okay, but hopefully you've now rolled out everything you need. Another quick wash of my hands, because even if you don't mean to, you touch your face all the time. All the time. So it's really important throughout the day just to keep washing those hands. In between the fingers, round the wrists, round the thumbs. All of those things, lovely, even if you are at home. Okay, wonderful. Right, now it's time for the toppings. So like I said, I'm definitely using a passata. So I'm just going to cut it open. Let's see. I think that's a good thing about pizza, is the fact that you can actually put on whatever you like. It's really individual. So again, don't forget, don't push it all the way to the edge. A pizza has like a little ring around, doesn't it? So I'm just going to plop a bit on. You never need as much as you think you need. So I'm just going to get a big spoon and do this and swirl it out. I'll put a little bit on to begin with, and then as you spread it out, you can then add a bit more if you want to, because it's more difficult getting it off and back in the box. And we don't want to waste food, remember, okay? So you don't need a really thick layer if you are doing it. But like I say, if you haven't got passata, tin tomatoes, I know are a little bit tricky to come by at the moment, just squirt on some tomato sauce. Let's get some ketchup, okay? So that's kind of what I've done, not all the way to the edge, and a layer like that. So I'm just going to put that on the other pizza as well, a slightly rounder pizza. Mrs. Mills was obviously talking too much when she was making the other pizza. Okay, my cat is looking, Kiri is standing by. Maybe I should try and make her a cat pizza. Cats can't really eat pizza and things like this. Onions especially, very bad for cats. If you've got a cat, be careful when you're cooking, you drop an onion. Not very good for a pussycat's tummy, onion. Okay, right then, so I've got passata in that one as well. And yeah, so you tend to definitely have passata. I've got my cheese ready to grate as well, so I think I'm going to put that on next. So I've got some normal cheddar cheese, but you can put any cheese on that you like, really. Again, anything you've got left in the fridge you want to use up. So I'm going to get my grater, okay, and I'm going to grate my cheese on. So there we go. Let's grate some cheese on this. I'm really looking forward to having this for my lunch today. I must have been looking forward all week. My husband did say, oh, does that mean I get a pizza? Maybe. Maybe you can have a pizza, Mr. Mills. We'll see. Okay. Right. So again, I've got about that much cheese on. Looks a bit like that. Okay, so let's put cheese on my other one as well. And again, depending on what you're allergic to and things like that, some of you might have vegan cheese at home, you might have dairy-free options, things like that. whatever you would like. And again, you don't have to have cheese. It does traditionally tend to have cheese on it. That one. It's quite nice to have cheese, but you put on whatever you would like. This is your pizza. The more imaginative, the better. So let's just put that cheese back in there. Like that. Keep that. Right then, so you can have some veggies on. Now, when we were doing our slicing for our seasonal cooking, some of your knife skills were questionable. So I really hope you have an adult here. I'm actually going to put some red onion on mine. Okay, red onion. You were really, really good when you were trying some of the fruit and veg for seasonal, when we did our seasonal cooks. I really hope you put on something a little bit unusual. So I'm going to cut my onion right through the middle. I'm going to hold it like this. Okay, can you see that? Let's move it down a little bit more. That's better. Like this. Slice through, down, all the way through. And then you're left with the onion like that. Okay, I'm just going to cut off the ends. Like that. I probably only need half an onion actually, don't need too much. Rip out the outer layer. So Mrs. Mills' eyes start to water. So take off the outer layer and wrap that other half up in tin foil later. Put this in my compost. Waste nothing. So you're left with your red onion like this, nice and shiny. And then I'm going to slice it this way. So if you have your onion like that, I'm trying to remember which way around it goes. This way, I think will give me rings. Let me try one and have a look. Yes. So if you cut it that way around, you can then peel it off. I'll stay out the sunshine. And you've got little bits like this. So that's quite nice to put on. Nothing too thick. And again, you don't need too much. I probably don't even need. So a nice thin slice, probably about that thin. And then you pull it apart. So I don't even think I need too much more at all. So I'm going to put some on that one. Because we both like red onion. Put some on that one. A couple more slices. Again, you don't have to have onion. Always watching when you're cutting like I am. Nice and slow. Make sure it's on a flat surface. If you've got any other things around you, make sure they've all been moved. Very important to have that. Okay. Let's dot those around. Lovely. Use up that last little slice I sliced. There we go. Again, tin foil, both of those. Keep them for later. They go in anything. I'm just going to quickly wash my hands. That will stop all the onions making cry. Okay, so I've got onion. What else? What else? Okay. Oh, I had some cooked chicken that I bought from the co-op. Now, obviously, I would normally always try and cook my chicken. And if you're going to put chicken on a pizza, it has to be cooked. So you'd have to cook it first. Okay, but I did want some cooked chicken for my cat as well. So I wonder if Kiri's around. She's on the table. Kiri! Oh, she's coming. You want some chicken? Yes. Say yes. You'd like some? Yeah, good girl. There we go. So I didn't touch my cat. Because remember, if I'm touching me, I don't want to touch my cat. My cat is not allowed on the kitchen worktops either. Very important. That's where I prepare food. So she can have a little bit there. So I'm just going to tear it up into little bits and sprinkle it all over like this. Kiwi's watching just to see if there's any going spare, any that I drop. She said, don't worry, Mrs. Mills, if you drop it, it's fine, I'm here, I've got your back, not a problem. I will help you out and I will clear that up. Okay, so there we go. So again, I'll leave the rest later. I'll put that back in the fridge in a minute. Very important meat to put back in the fridge. I'll put that there. Let's hope she doesn't eat it. Right then actually, I had some chorizo in my fridge. It might be that you don't have any. Chorizo is the type of thing, a sausage that keeps for a really, really long time. And we always end up having a little bit lying around. And I was actually cooking with some the other day. And I already had some left over. And you've not had chorizo before, it's really nice. It's a type of sausage. A little bit spicy, but not too bad, really nice. It's full of some really, really lovely oil, so you don't need a lot. But after you slice it, again, hold it down, thin slice, thin slice, thin slice. I will probably then cut it into fours. Again, watching fingers. There we go, and then you end up with our little half a semicircle. Maths group, my maths group. Half a semicircle is called a quadrant, thank you. If you didn't remember, you remembered now, well done. So again, let's sprinkle that chorizo on there. Chicken and chorizo is quite a classic kind of combo. I think I need a couple more slices in there. And chorizo sausage lasts a really long time in your fridge. Just wrap it up. Again, that'll go back in the fridge in a minute. Keep that meat nice and fresh. Let's just cut those up that way, like that. Okay, let's sprinkle that on. I'm very impressed with this pizza. It's looking very professional. I'm sure yours are looking just as professional as mine. Okay, so I've got that. Let's move this stuff out of the way. A bit more room. I've also got a few fresh tomatoes in my fridge. We're very lucky that we have a farm shop near where we are. And I've got lots of fruit and vegetables. You see in my background there. I went out to the farm shop today. Some really, really lovely tomatoes. And actually fresh tomatoes smell lovely and go really well on the pizza. So if you have that, again, holding it this way, fingers clear, cutting right through the middle. You can cut it into chunks, but I actually quite like slices when I do tomato. Now slices are a bit trickier. Again, you hold it, very slimy, slow, slide the knife through. Push it in, slide it through. So if you're doing slices of tomato, I probably would say get an adult to help you out with that. Okay, they have to be quite thin as well. Mine is not mine's not really come out very thin, so I might actually put mine into quarters and pop those on the pizza too, because I really like bits of fresh tomato on my pizza. So not much, but I'll put a bit of that on too. Can really, really load it up. Okay, what else? I actually had a little bit of mozzarella in my fridge as well, which is, it comes in liquid. And you hold it up like this. So it's quite a creamy cheese. There's a little bit left. Once you've opened it, it doesn't last very long. I've already got cheddar on, but you could put some mozzarella on as well if you had it. Again, my husband said, use that mozzarella, it's in the fridge. I'm like, okay. Like I said, we never waste food when we can. I always think about, right, what food have I got in the fridge? Therefore, what am I having for my dinner tonight? How I tend to think about it. Okay, so we've got those things. I don't think I can fit much more on my pizza. I did have a pepper, which definitely looks like it's seen better days. So I think I am going to use the pepper as well. So again, holding it like that. Remember, this is a bell pepper. Red bell pepper. It has seeds inside. You can eat these seeds. Most people like to take them out, but you can eat them. Chilies, you don't eat the seeds. Well, they're very, 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 very hot and you have to wash your hands afterwards. Bell peppers are fine. So you cut the end off, like that. You set that inside. There we go. And then you can cut it down the middle. You got all the seeds, see? And then most people pull the seeds out, but you can eat them, it's fine. Then you tend to get this white pithy bit down the middle. If you're really careful, you can slice that out as well. I'm enough of a pepper like that. So I'm going to do really thin slices. Down, slide, take your time. It's all good. There you go. Moving your fingers along, watching what you're doing. Wonderful. Slices like that, okay? So I'm just going to pop those over my pizza as well. That was enough there. Not for both the pizzas. So again, half a pepper in my fridge. I'll think of something I can use it for later. I did have these lovely smoky tomatoes as well. They're like sun-dried tomatoes. They're really slimy. Slimy in a good way, I'll show you. Like this, in their own oil. Ooh. But they're really lovely. And it's one of those things that I keep in the back of my fridge for ages and ages and ages. I think, oh, they'd be lovely in something. I never get around to using them, so I thought, well, actually, while I had the opportunity, to try and put a few on there as well. So I'm just going to cut a few of these up. So it might be your parents have some sun-dried tomatoes in their fridge, in a jar, in the back, that they bring out every now and again. So again, you don't need too many, because they're quite strong. But yeah, maybe you can say, oh, you've got some sun-dried tomato, let's put those on as well. So you've got like 3 different types of tomatoes. But again, this is your pizza. You put on exactly what you would like. Okay, and again, they're quite slimy, so be careful with the knife. Always washing my hands, always. Yeah, and I think that's all the food I have in my fridge that I'm going to put on my pizza. People also do tend to sometimes put herbs on the top. Oregano is a really, really good one. Or it might be you've got mixed herbs, or you might have some thyme. But if you have a smell, it's just like what we use for our seasonal cooking. So not too much, but if you've got some mixed herbs, a little sprinkle, a little dust across the top, like that. Okay, so would you like to see my masterpiece? There we go. Oops. There's a lot of food on that pizza. But yeah, there it is. So you've added on your toppings. They just now need to go on a baking tray. I'd probably possibly put some grease-proof paper down first, if you've got some, like this. Or a little rubbing of oil maybe. Sometimes pizzas can stick to baking trays, but I'm sure your parents will know whether they've got super non-stick pans or whether you need a little bit of oil. Put them in there, put them in your oven, which is already on, and I'd keep an eye on it. Most pizzas take between 10 and 12 minutes. And because they're fresh, I reckon between 8 and 10 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna put these in now and give you a chance now to watch this video, cook along at home with me, and then I'm going to upload another one, probably at about 2 o'clock today, of me and my husband enjoying my pizza, and I'd love to then see photographs of your pizza and see you enjoying yours. But thank you so much for joining in. If you really loved it, like the video, let me know, and then I will happily do another cook along next week, and then hopefully, maybe, we will be able to do it live. If not, we'll work something out. So I miss you all, have a lovely day, eat lots of pizza, and I'll see you and speak to you all again soon. Bye!